Hello and welcome back to Zombies Experiments, the series where I try and complete different challenges and solve problems that nobody has in Call of Duty Zombies. Today we're going to be answering the question of how many mimics you can have at one time in Firebase C. Let's get into it. So I started off this challenge by picking my class and I decided to go with the shotgun because they're one of the best weapons for killing both zombies and mini bosses. I did realise immediately after picking it that my goal was to not kill the mini bosses, but you live and learn. I killed a few zombies and made multiple attempts to parkour up to the portal before giving up and just taking the stairs like the filthy casual that I am. Going through the portal, Dr. Peck seemed shocked and asked how I gained access to the base, as if he didn't leave a fucking open portal just sitting in the middle of some random Vietnamese village. I re-killed a few more zombies and started doing a challenge. My goal was to complete enough challenges to earn the Reiki Wonder Weapon, but I'll spoil it for you now, I wasn't able to get it. I could have earned the free version, but frankly I didn't need to do that. My zombie killing skills are beyond remarkable and I don't need a wonder weapon to hold my hand the whole way through. Whilst the challenge is happening in the background, I should probably explain what my strategy was for this experiment, because believe it or not, behind all the incompetence and random bullshittery I endured, there actually was a plan. See, mimics spawn very randomly in Firebase C. I probably don't have to explain what they are, but YouTube favours longer videos, so you'll all get to hear me speak for even more time than necessary. Mimics appear in the ground as random items, and when you get close to them, they'll jump out at you and attempt to jump scare you. Luckily, nothing scares me. Except, spiders. And ghosts. And heights. And guns, and burning alive, drowning, being rejected by women, electrocution, mimics, and being called mean names. But apart from those things and a long list of other things, nothing scares me. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, my strategy. So I aimed to de-randomise how often the mimics spawned in by getting to the step of the Easter egg which required you to capture them. My plan was to let them spawn in and just end the round without killing them and carry on repeating that process. It's a simple strategy, but one which is quite effective. After a bit more murdering, I headed to the mission control area to begin turning on the power. I laid on the ground to search some loose change from the stamina machine and I activated the ether reactor and turned on the power in the area. I carried on and did this another 2 times, nothing of great interest happened. After completing the final reactor however, my first mimic spawned in. I immediately realised I had to go and buy stamina up since these things could run faster than the girls I attempt to speak to in clubs on a night out. Back when clubs are open. God, I miss social interaction. On another note, I've just noticed Google Docs auto-corrected the word interaction to interracial, so I'm not sure if that's something worth mentioning, but there you go. After running around a little bit, taking advantage of my new shoes given to me by Stamina Up, I Paolo Nutini'd my way to Juggernog and bought it so I wouldn't get immediately downed when overrun by mimics. I made my way back down to the village to speak to Ravenov, and then went all the way back to the portal to speak to Peck in Mission Control. There's a lot of talking to characters in this map, which is something a bit new for zombies. I kinda love Peck though, so I'm not going to complain too much. Whilst attempting to parkour my way to the portal, that damn mimic knocked me off and I had to once again use the stairs. Seems my purpose in life is to suffer. I came back through the portal and my mimic kinda just imploded. I don't really know how or why that happened, but it was confusing and my mimic counter was now back down to 0. So far the challenge was going great. I spoke to Peck and he told me he'd thrown Samantha into the dark ether. I wish I could say I was upset by that, but to be fair, she's been trying to kill me since 2008, so I can't really be too sad. It's quite funny to me though that Sam just keeps on having all this shit happen to her. Getting stuck in the NPD, then having to live a Rick Toffin's body for a bit, then getting to live in the perfect world, only to be taken from it and have to shoot Nikolai, and ultimately ending up back where she started. That poor girl probably does need a break. I once again ran to speak to Ravenov, waiting for another mimic to spawn in, and he gave me a key card. Apparently I could use it to open up some lockers and grab some stuff to make a neat truth serum cocktail. So really just a normal cocktail. On my way to make the pina colada, I bought a blue version of the exact same fucking gun I already have off the wall because I'm an idiot and don't think about anything I'm doing. I then started another challenge which was to avoid taking damage, so I kinda just ran in circles for a bit, dodging all the zombies in my path. After doing another 2 boring challenges after that, I finally got my legendary reward. And guess what? It was a fucking pack-a-punched RPG. Another weapon which would be great against mimics, if I was actually killing any. Speaking of which, another mimic appeared whilst mixing my cocktail, so I finally had another one to deal with. Some fire puppies attacked me at the same time, which was weird, and after grabbing the truth serum, I dispersed into the room with Peck and had him reveal all his dirty secrets to me. He started dancing and talking about some girl called Martha, and I thought I'd accidentally activated the Batman vs Superman Easter egg. Eventually, Peck made me go to the data centre and I was finally on the step where I could force mimics to spawn. I flipped over some rounds and ended up getting a defence wave round, so I dealt with that quickly in the form of a Predator missile. After flipping over the round again, I managed to actually get 2 mimics spawning into my game, which is where the challenge felt like it was really about to begin. However, it ended about 2 minutes later when I discovered that mimics counted as actual zombies and you had to kill them in order to switch rounds. Unlike other mini-bosses in zombies, which you could just keep around, these guys had to be killed in order to progress. No exceptions. That's another myth busted. You're welcome, codename Pizza. I did try again a few times to make sure I couldn't progress without killing the mimics, but to no avail. I understand this is a bit of an anticlimax, but that really just feels like a bit of a theme at the moment, so there you go. So what is the answer to the ultimate question of life? How many mimics can you have at one time in a match in Firebase C? I don't know, I think I had like 4 or 5 once, so probably around that many. If you came here expecting an actual answer to this question, then I'm sorry, but I don't have the knowledge you seek. I'd check the Chronorium, but God knows where that is at the moment. That's a little reference to you story fans out there. I played around in the match a little bit more, but ultimately decided to end my life the same way I came into it. An RPG in my back and a grenade in my hand, sacrificing myself to kill the demon which was chasing me around a Vietnamese courtyard. I had a pretty difficult childhood. But for now, that's going to be it from me. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to subscribe and like the video. It costs nothing, so there's no real downside to doing so. For now, however, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.